Hola, Aquarius friends. It's Saturday, so Aquarius and Pisces Day. I'm going to do the singles and the couples heart spread reading and the 4 pillars. Oops, all those pelicans. Love the brown pelicans. And that's for the 3rd week in April. And this is called Super Singles read now. Already pre-shuffled. And so we're trying to find your soulmate here. And ask Tarot, let's describe your soulmate. And so not your next ex problem, but the next one that's right for you. And we'll look at the 4 pillars: emotional, intellectual, the sexual, and love, and the lifestyle and core value areas of their personality, their life. Try to get a little bit of a picture of them at a deeper level. Not so much whether they have a mustache or not. We'll try to look for signs, the astrology signs. Hopefully you know that when you get to know them. Fine, that's the first thing I'd be asking. So, what's your birth time? Surprising how few people know that, huh? Okay, so here we go, Aquarius. And this is their an emotional nature, 6 of Wands. A little bit of a different reading. It kind of doesn't read exactly, I don't know, like you might expect with some cards, because here we are looking at their very emotional nature here. Some good wins. Wow. So, but what would you think? King of Wands and a 6 of Wands. They emotionally are fiery. There's no doubt about it. I mean, outspoken. Remember, this is your person, so they're not going to be obnoxious. I don't think that's not what we're looking for here. But if you like a dominant person that can speak up for themselves, I mean, this is your guy or girl here for that. To me, it kind of implies a good childhood here, like, because this person has very high self-esteem, and I think it's a genuine self-esteem. There may be some need for them to get attention. Again, every person, nobody's perfect. But I will say this, they get attention. So, want to describe them too. If you meet them, what are they really going to be like? So, they're going to be, when you're on a date with them, somebody, they're getting your attention. They're going to talk a lot. They're going to kind of dominate the conversation. They're probably going to be very charismatic and maybe charming, too. It'd be probably a great first date, with this person, and just very positive, and a very can-do attitude with them. They don't need to talk about being positive or post about being positive. It's like they're on fire. This person, they've probably always been like this. Here I see a Leo moon, big time. This describes a lot how Leo moons are. And so someone too, when you meet them, very most likely they're gonna, man or woman, they're gonna be very warm, hugs, big movements, demonstrative movements that almost could be like comical or something, like so much. But they're not. That's just the way they are. It's almost. I'm trying to think of who does this. On a sitcom or something, you might think, but no, that's the way they are. And then intellectually, the 7 of Swords. It's not about cheating or lying in this position, but it's going to be about strategic thinking, big time about strategic thinking. Queen of Swords, big time. Wow. So Scorpio Mercury, yeah, here, this kind of energy. I tell you what, they packed quite a wall up here. Look at this, it's all fire. We got to look at the astrology too. It's all fire over here emotionally. We might see if we come up with in the next column, we'll look at the love and sex. Maybe we come up with a fire Mars here. But then this is air, and I said there's someone that doesn't mind sticking up for themselves here, guys. So, boy, times 10. And they're balanced, then they're emotionally with this King of Wands, with the Queen of Swords here in their intellectual position. They may seem jovial and charming, but they ain't playing. And they likely, I could tell you, they see a lot more than they say, but they'll say it to you. But with the Seven of Swords, is kind of what I think it's about with them. They see a lot more than they say. They don't say everything they know. It's like an instinct with them. They just notice things, like they read people, like look right through their soul, through their eyes. I mean, it sounds like bullshit. No, they look in someone's eyes, and if they tell you they look in someone's eyes, and they're not George Bush. They really probably are reading their soul. This kind of person, and might be just like really good at it, but they don't dwell on it, or that's what I mean too, or talk about it. But they probably really understand people, and they understand how life works. So I'm not saying they're cynical. It's your person, because of those fire here, they're not cynical, but you never make the mistake that they understand how life works, and that there are dangers, and some people are bad, and that kind of thing. That's the Seven of Swords, that strategic thinking, that kind of mind. If this were a male, they very well might be a protector male too, and a protector male to the point, both in their voice, and don't be fooled by a Queen of Swords, and in their actions. So, in other words, they're never going to hurt anyone unless there's a need to protect the family, literally. And also meaning that they're not a wimp. They're not passive. They are, I believe, appropriately assertive person, that wouldn't have any trouble dealing with any threat, to the person that he or she loves. And protector females too, I should say. I mean, of course. So, Ace of Pentacles. Now, it's in the sexual love position. Okay, I was saying looking for air. I was looking for a fire Mars. It'd be like an Earth Mars. But look at the buck here. Robust. Just saying. Your person may be robust. Okay, it might be hung. If it's a guy, or if it's a woman, it's like they're very beautiful, I think. And the kind of person, like, you're just going to look at them, man or woman, and you're going to say, wow, amazing, right? So what the hell? I mean, it's your soulmate, and they're beautiful. Let's see what we see with the Five of Pentacles sexually, though. Interesting. Gonna have to be a Earth Mars, I think, and they may even have an Earth Venus here. Definitely one. Grounded, slow. Like, even with you, they're probably not gonna go to bed on the first date, and you kind of might think they are, probably by the way they act. I mean, they're just so kind of wide open and friendly and easygoing, and they maybe don't mind having a few drinks, but they're not. It's not a matter of being whores. They're just there's a self-protection here that comes, and so I don't think they let people in love very easily, and so we look for stories. So you may hear when they tell you these stories, something along the lines of like, we dated for 10 years or 5 years, or in some way indicating, through their stories that they might be slow letting people in. So don't be too concerned as a soulmate, but if these other things are lining up, know it's them. And it's just, even with you, they're probably going to take their time. And I got to tell you, sexually, like with the Five of Pentacles, I think that's really, that not good enough, lack mentality. But they may have shame issues around sex. It's no fault of their own. It's from childhood stuff. It doesn't take much. It may not even be childhood stuff. Maybe a past relationship or something. So I get the sense that there's but you're not going to really notice this, I don't think, until you really get to know them. Like, even if you made love like a while, but beneath this Ace of Pentacles, very robust sexual energy, just a very healthy sexual appetite, and taking it very seriously and being very grounded, not a slam bam, thank you ma'am kind of energy. But underneath of that, there's just a little bit of insecurity with them around sexual issues here, and it could go into the love issues. So Aries soulmate, probably you're going to be someone who's reliable, and you're never going to make fun of them, even kidding around, because they're the kind of person you might think they like to kid around in bed and make jokes, and almost like, some people like to laugh. Turns out people kind of know, maybe they don't. Okay, so we're going to look at their, this is them. I'm going to put it over here. Instead of the, well, let's see if you can see it over here. I think you can still see it. Move it down here. So this is them and their core values and their lifestyle energy here, guys. King of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles. So another king, could should say, probably a mature person here, not like 60, but someone that's been through their first Saturn return, let's say, and is an adult and could take care of themselves. Okay, because the King of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles, I go back, look at this. I told you, with the Five of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles, maybe got burned before relationships. So I bet you this person, before you meet them, one of the stories they're going to tell you, it's like, I haven't had a relationship or sex in 5 years, maybe 9 years. I mean, it sounds crazy, but, or some really long length of time, and they're, again, I said, like, assertive and outgoing and very charismatic, and they would use that energy in their mind, I said, as very discerning and quick, and they get things, they get the big picture. And with the king here, and they may have been single their whole life, with the Nine of Pentacles, or they are genuinely, like I said, they have pretty good childhood here. It looks like I don't see any big problems. But excuse me with that one. Make sure they don't blow away. Wow. So I don't see any big problems. So they're very stable. And now they're the king here in the Nine of Pentacles, King of Swords. They're self-possessed, and they don't need anybody. They certainly don't need someone, to fulfill them, or financially to help pay the bills, or in any way, shape, fashion, or form. And probably, like, I think they're the kind of person too, whatever they do for a job, which is probably significant, maybe like some kind of management position, or somewhere where they have to give orders, and it's something they do with their mind. They're working in an office, or they have their own business. Something like this. I think there's going to be element of, like, they want to be the boss. Probably two at home. There won't be like a toxic thing. It'll be like they just want to be in control. It's natural for them, and you probably won't mind, because they'll do a very good job, and think they'll do it with I mean, I wouldn't mind. Be like, please, here's the bills. Thank you. That kind of thing, because that may be also what they do. But this is a great energy for your soulmate to have. This is not bad at all. This King of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles. It's like another thing. They're honest. You know, it almost could be to a fault over here with this mind energy too. Again, and no one's perfect, but you know, one thing's for sure: they're not only are they not going to lie to you, they're not going to not say something that needs to be said and let it fester. That's just not the way they are. And this may be what helps them in work, why they can give orders and they can figure things out with Seven of Swords, and they don't mind making it happen. And because you know, they come a lot from a place of like certainty and groundedness, and you know, they don't speculate and worry and all of that. King of Swords don't worry, sit around worry about things. So I think that kind of gives you an idea, Aquarius, but let me know if you meet this person, okay? I appreciate it. And like, share, subscribe, you know, like's easy, and it's good karma. What the heck? Thank you, guys.